Yeah, hi everyone. Today we will discuss on filter transformation. Filter transformation is similar to uh, SQL where clause. So in the where clause, we write it, right? So select star from a table where a particular condition. So whichever records satisfy that particular condition, all those records will be shown in the results. Right. Similarly, we have one transformation in Informatica PowerCenter, which will filter out the data. So whichever condition it satisfies, it will allow that data, and remaining data it will block. It won't. I mean, those records will not go further in the flow. Okay. So let me show you how it works. Okay, so it's a filter transformation. So you can remember the symbol like this. So there is a panel. So you have kind of filtering the data. So based on some condition. Okay. So overview is like it's an active and connected transformation. So why it is active? Because we are it is changing the number of records. Okay, let's say I am passing 1000 records, out of which some 300 records are satisfying the condition. Only those 300 records will go out of this transformation, and remaining 700 it will block. So input are 1000, output are only 300. So it is changing the number of records passing through it. So that's why we call it as active transformation. And it must be connected to other transformations. So it must be connected to the upstream and downstream transformations. Okay. So filter transformation is an active and connected transformation because it changes the number of records. So using the filter transformation, we can filter the records based on the filter condition. So whichever record satisfies the filter condition, it will move on to the next downstream transformations. Otherwise, it will be blocked there itself. Okay. Here we can specify, I mean, only one group. This is only one input, one output group. Okay. And the suggested tip for placing the filter is we need to place the filter as close to the sources, because unnecessary records we want to filter out in the starting itself. Let's say I have 1 million data coming from source. And if I am unnecessarily processing this 1 million data till the target, and in that just before the target, if I kept the filter, then it is unnecessarily we are taking forward all these 1 million, and it will consume so much of time. So if we keep the filter, I mean, near to the source, we can filter out maximum records, unwanted records, and then we will process. Because some transformations need cache. It has to build the cache. So for building cache, memory, and all these things, it will consume sometimes, and the performance will be degraded. So instead of running in 10 minutes, the mapping may run for 1 hour. So it will consume time. Okay. So to avoid that, to improve the performance, we will use this filter just before the, I mean, near to the sources, how much ever is possible. Because sometimes we need to do some calculations. After that only we need to pass those records to this filter. Based on those calculations, we will filter the data. So for that purpose, we have to keep this as much near as possible to the source. Okay. Okay. So just remember, this is an active and connected, because it will change the number of records passed through the transformation. Okay. So the basic purpose is to filter out the records based on filter condition. Okay. And it will drop the records that do not meet the condition. So this is, we should not confuse here. Just keep that in mind. Whichever condition is satisfied, only those records will move forward. Okay. And as I mentioned, filter is single input and single output transformation. Okay. Single output group. Okay. Okay. And ports wise, if you see, I mean, there is nothing difference compared to other transformations. We will have the port name, data type, precision scale, and input output. We are not going to do any changes. Just port name, if you want, you can do a change, data type and all. But in input output, you cannot change. Okay. So whatever coming in, it should go out. Okay. So if you want, we can give some default values and description and all these things. But we're not much worried about the ports tab. Next, we will come to the properties. In the properties, by default, the filter condition is true. Okay. That means whatever comes in, that goes out. By default, it is true. If you want to change, if you want to apply anything, just you have to click on this side button. Okay. And you have to write some condition. So I will show you what all conditions we can write. Okay. So finally, it will evaluate and returns true or false. How much big the condition it may be. Finally, it will return true or false. So if it, I mean, if the record, it will go, I mean, let's say I'm passing 10 records through filter transformation. Record by record will enter and it will move out. So first record entered. Whether what is the filter condition? I mean, is it evaluating true or false? So if it is evaluated to true, it will move on to the next transformation. If it is evaluating false, it will stop that record. And second record will come, it will check and move on. Just like a we are allowing the people by checking the tickets. Okay, if you are conducting any program, we allow them by checking the tickets, right? Whoever is having the ticket, they will move on. Otherwise, they will stop there. Okay. So similarly, it is like that. Okay. And we have tracing levels. Just as I was mentioning in the previous classes also, like we have 4 types. So we'll discuss more on this one. Okay. I'll show you how exactly this works. So, I mean, it works same for all. Okay. The amount of information we want to see in the session log. So that we will define through tracing level. So this is a simple example. With a simple example, we will see how a filter transformation works. So we will take a source and we will create one target table. We will see just by filtering the data and how it move on to the target. Okay, let's see. So we have, so this is the example. Okay. So every time I'm just using the same thing because our motto is to learn how filter transformation works. So I'm not concentrating much on this preparing this manually. So we have predefined things. So in the source, I'm just creating one source, S_departments, source departments. So the table is created and I'm inserting some data here. Okay, so S_departments. So we don't have any data. Now I'm inserting some records. Okay. So this is inserted. Let's see the data. So we have some records here. Okay, some 10 records we have. Now we will also create one target table so that we can load the data into the target. So I'm creating this target similar to the source. And let's see, is there any data? So there is no data in the target as of now. So let's go and create one mapping. So for that, again, we need, okay, I'm just clearing it off. So for that, we need source. So import from database, sources, tables, departments. So this is the example we are taking now. And target also I'm taking, import from database. So T departments, target departments. Okay. So I have taken both source and target. Now I'm going to create a mapping. Underscore filter. Okay. I'm creating a filter transformation. So as departments. Next is target is T departments. And I'm going to select a filter here. So where is the filter? Here is the filter. Okay, filter transformation. Just either you can do like this, or in the transformation, create. You can select the F filter transformation, FIL. So prefix is FIL we can give. So I can give department. Okay, so I created one. And I'm dragging everything here. And also I'm passing the same to the target. Okay, let me arrange all these things. Now we will see the main part. Okay, I'm showing you all these things because it is similar to other mapping creation. That's why I'm just showing like that. Now we will see what is there inside this filter. So transformation name we already defined. Description, if you want, we can give. That is optional. Codes, yeah, we are not going to change anything, and we cannot remove these things also. In out or it must be there. Main thing is in the properties. In the properties tab, filter condition we have to mention. Okay, so by default it is true. If you don't want to pass anything, we can keep it false. Okay, we can keep it false. But if we keep it false or true, there is no meaning of this filter transformation, right? So we should give some condition. Okay, let's see, I mean, how it works. Okay, let's try with false first. Okay, let's try with false. If I keep false, what will happen? If I keep false, what will happen? And let me create one workflow here. Generate workflow. So this is the target. Source is source. Source qualifier is source. This is one. So this is created. Now let me open workflow manager and see. So this is the filter. Okay, this is a filter. So what we will do, as I mentioned, we can, so source is source, so no changes here. Target is also good. So we can change this to normal mode. And here we can also give this truncate target table option. See, it doesn't mean for every session we have to give this. No, because our purpose is we don't want to see the same data again and again. So that's why I am selecting this. Okay, so by default, we no need to select this. Okay, now the filter condition is false. Okay, here we cannot do anything. So just you can see the condition. So I saved it and I am running this one. And I am running this one. Okay. So this filter succeeded. If I double click on this, if you observe, source success rows are 10, target success rows are 0, or it is not showing anywhere. That means the data came here from source, it read 10 records and it came till filter condition. And after that, it blocked everything because the condition is false. It is returning false for all the 10 records. So first record entered, it is showing false. It blocked. Second record entered, it showed false by default. So all the 10 for all the 10 records, it showed false condition. That's why it didn't move to the target. Okay. Now let's see if I keep this true. I keep this true, what will happen? Okay. So if I do any change, I have to right click on the map on the session and refresh the mapping, validate it, and save it. Control S. Now let's see what will happen. So second time I am running with by default true to everything. So whoever wants, they can simply enter the stadium. Initially, we closed the gates for everyone. No one should enter. But with the help of false. So we by default we kept it as false. No one should enter the stadium. Now we allowed everyone. We are not checking any token or any ticket. We are simply pausing it on everyone. It's open for everyone. So everything went to the target. Now see. So we have 10 records in the source. All 10 records enter the target. Right? Now we will do it on conditional base. Means whoever is having the ticket, only they have to enter the stadium. So like that, we will define one condition. So how to define the conditions? Like the expression. So when we worked on the expression transformation, we have seen there are a lot of functions. So here also there are a lot of functions we can apply. Okay. Okay. Now on which these are ports, on which port we will apply the condition. Okay. What is our source? Source is this much. Okay. Let's see. I have for a good number, I have 1700. Okay. Whoever is having location ID 1700, I want to take that data only. I want to move that data forward. So location ID equal to what type of value is location ID? Data type is decimal. So since it is decimal, I can simply write 1700. If data type is not a decimal, if it is a string, then I have to keep this in the single quotes. Okay. So how we keep the string values here? Within the single quotes. If it is not a string, if it is directly a decimal or integer or any number format, we will directly keep this. Okay. Now we will validate this. So expression passed successfully. So by mistake, if you keep something like this, let's see what will happen. So it is saying function cannot resolve operands of ambiguously mismatching types. So this is of decimal, but we are keeping this in a string format. Okay. If it is in single quotes, it is a string. Okay. So we will validate this. Okay. So what we are doing, whichever satisfies location ID is 1700, only those records will move on. Okay. Just we saved it, everything, refresh, validate. So if you want, you can check whether it is reflecting, the filter condition is reflecting or not. Just go to the mapping filter. See here, location ID equal to 1700. It is reflecting. Whatever the change we did, it is reflecting at the session level. So I can run this one now. I can run this and check. Okay, let me see in the monitor first. So in the monitor, if you see, out of 10 records, only 4 records are moving forward. So in this one. So it is just like where location ID equal to 1700. Same, whatever we are doing at Informatica now, same. Just 4 records, it is moving. Similarly, okay. Now we will see what is there in the target, whether it is it moved proper data. Yeah, all the 1700 records, 4 records, 10, 30, 90, 100. 10, 30, 90, 100. So only these records are moved to the target. So that is the simple purpose of a filter transformation. So here we can give multiple conditions also. Here we gave only location ID equal to 100. We can also mention, okay, whoever is having location ID and department number should be less than 100, let's say. Okay, department number should be less than 100. We can also mention and, okay, this is the and operator, and department ID is less than 100. So department ID is a decimal. So decimal, that's why I am directly giving this value. Okay, so validate. So it's valid. Okay, apply. Save this and refresh this. So validate this and save it. Okay. Now let's run this. Okay, let's run this one. So it is also succeeded. Now how many records out of 10? There are only 3 records moved to the target. Okay, because it is satisfying only 3 records are satisfying that condition, and department ID less than 100. Okay. So 1 second. Select star from this where is and EPT. Okay. What is it? Sorry, it's a full name. Department ID. Okay. Department ID is less than 100. Now we'll see. So only 3 records. So in the target also, after loading through Informatica, so it is loading 3 records. So we have seen different scenarios here. So we just loaded without any condition, true or false. Okay. And we have seen with one example where location ID is matching, and we can also see with multiple conditions, and we can also see another type of condition. Okay. So we have seen location ID like this, we are evaluating. Also we can do wherever we have location ID, only those records we need to pass on. Okay. Here if you see in the source, so if I remove these conditions, you will see what is there in the source. So in the source, we have location ID, and for one record, we don't have location ID. That is not yet updated. For all other 9 records, we have location ID. So what we will do, wherever we have location ID, only those records should go. That means if it is empty, we will call it as null. If it is not empty, if there is some location ID, we call it as not null value. Not null means not empty. In simple words, not empty. But in the technical term is not null. So we will say, okay. So we have one function called is null. Okay, is null. If we keep this is null, that means if it is null. Okay, but what we are checking, not null. Not is null of. Okay, just a negation. Okay, opposite of is null. So not is null of this means not is null means similarly whatever we write in this. Okay, where location underscore ID is not null. So this is the condition at SQL level. So see, out of 10, 1 is eliminated. If we keep is null, only the null will come. If we keep is not null, okay, so only the shuffling is there. Okay, here we are saying is, just like in English, is not null. It is not null. But here we at the Informatica level, we will say is null is the function. If we keep not before the is null function, it will evaluate same whatever we are doing here. Okay. Okay, let's see. So not is null. Wherever location ID is not empty, only those records should be forwarded. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so we can check. This is reflecting here. Not is null of location ID. And I'm starting the workflow. Okay, so it succeeded. Out of 10, 9 records went to the target because one record is null. One record is empty. Let's see the target data. Okay, 9 records. So we are getting proper data here. So that is how the filter works. That is how the filter works. This is very simple transformation, but you need to practice whatever the scenarios I have shown. Please practice it so that you learn filter transformation quicker. This is very simple transformation to learn. Okay. Okay. So this is all about filter transformation. So any questions here in the filter transformation? Anyone? Are you clear with this filter transformation?
Yes, Shashi. Yeah, I'm clear.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, brother. Hope everybody understood this well. So please practice this and try to complete create on your own and try to execute and see. If you face any errors, please note them down, or you can also ping in the group. Okay, in the WhatsApp group, you can ping if you get any errors. We will see and we will reply on that. Okay, and whoever wants to address those errors, you can also, check and see. Okay, if you have faced and you have resolved those errors, you can also like address. Okay, anyway, we are there to answer your questions, any issues, errors, we will check and answer you. But yeah, you can also come up with all your questions in tomorrow's class. We will try to address. Okay. Yeah, that's it with filter transformation.